I'm Nick Alcock. I'm going to speak about when the courts will run a sentence concurrently or consecutively. Many times I'll talk with somebody who's got multiple counts, say a drug sale case. Now, if it's the same common plan or scheme, and it's more or less the same occurrence or transaction, typically even if you're charged with 35, 40, 50 counts, they'll run them all together. If you're arrested and they charge you with 25 different counts, and each count happened on a totally different day in a different place, possibly with different people, then you're in a position where they can run the sentences consecutively and not concurrently, because it isn't part of the same transaction. It isn't, you're not dealing with the same people. It's not a continuing transaction. It is a totally separate transaction. That really is a test that the courts will be looking at, whether or not you're talking about just a chain of events, or if you're talking about an individual on one day deciding to break one law and then 3 months later breaking another law. What I see a lot is, if a detective is doing an investigation, they might arrange and orchestrate a sale to occur where an individual is selling to an undercover agent. Now, they could arrest that individual then and there, but many times they don't. And they don't because they like the idea of having this hammer over their head to be able to run cases consecutively. So then they go back and they do another sale, say a couple months later, and then a couple months later they do another sale. Now they've got them in a position where if they went to trial, all of the sentences could be run consecutively, one after the other. So you get 2 years on one, and then you could get more for the second one because technically you'd have a felony prior, and then you could get more for the third one. And it is a tactic that the police use, a tactic that the prosecutors use to ensure that people are resolving their cases, and they want to see people plead out. So they want to make the evidence so overwhelming and the consequences so high if you don't take a plea agreement. If you go to trial, they could run everything consecutively and people could get quite a bit of time. The judge has a lot of discretion in these cases though. And a judge can just run everything concurrently if the judge feels that's appropriate. And that's where a good criminal defense attorney can really change the outcome of a case and can really change how much time people get. Doesn't really matter if you get a really mitigated or lower sentence if you get a whole bunch of those mitigated sentences running together, or consecutively. So if you have any questions about when is a case run concurrently or consecutively, and if you'd like us to analyze that for you, give us a call. 602-989-5000 is our number, 602-989-5000, and thanks so much.